In this example, let's determine the value of the limit as x approaches 0 of 1 over x to the power of 4. Notice that if we try to do a direct substitution of x is equal to 0 into this fraction, we're going to get 1 over 0. And this indicates that we do have to work with infinite limits in this case. Since this is an infinite limit kind of problem, we know that the limit technically doesn't exist, but we want to write it in a mathematical way that people will understand. So we're going to take a look at our one-sided limits and see if we can use plus or minus infinity notation to figure out what's happening around this vertical asymptote. So we're going to break this question apart into its two one-sided limits, the limit as x approaches 0 from the right, and the limit as x approaches 0 from the left. Dealing with our first limit, x approaching 0 from the right means we're going to take x values that are slightly bigger than 0, but in the neighborhood of 0. So values like 0.1 or 0.01. If we were to input these values into 1 over x to the 4 is positive. So this means our overall fraction is positive. And 1 divided by these really small numbers is going to get very large and positive. So what we write here is the limit as x approaches 0 from the right of 1 over x to the 4 is large and unbounded. So it's tending towards positive infinity. Now a similar thing is going to happen for our other limit as well. If we look around the neighborhood of 0, but numbers that are slightly smaller than 0, like negative 0.1 or negative 0.01, for example, and we try to start inputting those into 1 over x to the 4 is still positive. So we are going to get an overall fraction that is positive, and these values will get very large and positive. So again, we have an unbounded action in the positive direction. So on the left side of our vertical asymptote, our y values are tending towards positive infinity as well. Now in this special case, because both of our one-sided limits tend towards positive infinity, we can make an overall declaration about what's happening around this vertical asymptote. We can say that the limit as x approaches 0 of the function 1 over x to the 4 is going to be positive and unbounded. So on either side of 0, our y values are tending towards positive infinity.